The AFC Championship game is set. I am Tom Downey, here to preview what could be another fantastic playoff game for the NFL as the Kansas City Chiefs on the road taking on against the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens, the early line, I will make note this will change throughout the week, a 3.5-point favorite at home against Kansas City, which features in the regular season the number 1 defense in Baltimore and the number 2 defense in Kansas City. Yeah, this is an awesome matchup. The Chiefs, as we'll get into, taking down the Buffalo Bills. The Ravens, as we'll get into, kind of blowing out the Houston Texans. This is an awesome matchup. Mahomes on the road against the likely NFL MVP in Lamar Jackson. 2 of the best quarterbacks in the game. The scriptwriters did a pretty good job in this matchup. We will be live for the AFC Championship game. If you want to join us, as the hundreds of thousands of you have so far this postseason, hit that sub button. Jack Sperry will actually be live for the AFC game. I'll be live for the NFC game. We'll have both covered, though. Don't miss out. Hit that sub button for more free NFL videos right now. The AFC divisional round here. The Ravens allowed 1 defensive score against Houston. Remember, it was a special teams touchdown that scored. It was 3 field goals, or a field goal. That was it. The Ravens defense is so much fun to watch. This year in general in the NFL, less scoring, less offense. The defenses have played fantastic ball, and there is no defense I enjoy watching more right now than Mike Macdonald. The things he has done, the constant barrage of different looks and personnel usage and fronts, etc., is awesome. Lamar Jackson, 152 yards. He ran for 100+. He was awesome against the Texans. Now they face a much stiffer test in Kansas City, which, once again, Bills-Chiefs delivers an all-timer. 27-24 just wrapped up as of when we were live for that game. Another wide right moment, I feel, for my Bills fans, friends, but the Chiefs, 27-24. They ran the ball well. Mahomes had 6 incomplete passes. He had 5 passes of 20+ yards or 4, whatever it was, almost 1-1. The Chiefs team is dangerous. They've played 2 cold weather games. It was cold on the road against Buffalo, cold at home against the Dolphins. They won that game 26-7. Steve Spagnuolo's defense is awesome. For as much love as we will give, as we get into to these teams' quarterbacks, these defenses are electric. All right, injury news to get into here, by the way. Mark Andrews, we'll see if he's back from that ankle injury. I don't know if he will. Hopefully he is. I want guys healthy. I'm never going to cheer for injuries. Marlon Humphrey missed last week's game with the calf injury. So did Phillips and Tylan Wallace. 2 much less impactful guys. We'll see about Andrews and Humphrey. Meanwhile, the Chiefs' injuries here. Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney, Derek Nandi, all out against the Bills. We'll see if they're good to go. They're not high-end impact players. However, Mike Edwards, a concussion against the Bills, so injury status on that front there. TBD, it's a process. Willie Gay, let's go with the neck injury. TBD. Joe Thuney, I haven't seen much, again, as of familiar no more as the week goes on. Chest injury, did not return. Those 3 in-game injuries would be significant ones for Kansas City. Who do you have winning then? C for the Chiefs, R for the Ravens. It is today's pin poll. If the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. All right, 5 players to watch on each team. The quarterbacks, of course, we begin there. Mahomes did not have his best year. He didn't. His numbers are kind of like, frankly, pedestrian. Well, for this year's numbers relative to the rest of the NFL, fringe top 10. I thought he played great against Buffalo. Missed 2 throws in the end zone, and that was about it. He's Mahomes still. This offense is dangerous, especially when Travis Kelce is playing incredible football. He had a down year. Number 2 player to watch, by the way, is Kelce. A bit of a down year. Did not get to 1,000 yards. Was a little bit limited from that perspective, but he was great against the Bills. Very impactful game. 1,000 yards. Just shy of it from that perspective. So we'll keep an eye on Kelce. The Ravens, their spine of the defense, Kyle Hamilton, Roquan Smith, get to them, spoiler alert, they're tough. They will take away Kelce as best as they can. Now, today's preview video is made possible by Prize Picks. Fantasy football is over right now, but daily fantasy still ongoing, and you can have some picks for this game. Here's why I love Prize Picks. It's you against the numbers. You're not battling thousands of players. There's no pros and sharks and sharps, etc. You can mix and match sports. You can do NFL and NBA for a limited time remaining, of course. The reboot policy keeps your picks in play in the event of injury. Player goes down the first half, your pick's still alive. I love the flex play. You just got to get 2 out of 3 right. You don't have to go all for all. You can miss one and still be okay, and I'm really good about that. Something like not 10 of my 17, whatever it's been as of late. The flex plays helped out in a major way. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Link will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. It's prizepicks.com/CLNS. Nick Bolton, my first defender here for the Chiefs. He's number 3 on my list. Only played 8 games this year. The numbers don't pop off the screen as a result. I love watching him play. He is not the most physically gifted athletic linebacker, but he reads and reacts so well. He had 180 tackles last year. He averaged 10 per game. With the Ravens, Lamar Jackson mobility, like Todd Monk calls his offense, need a big game from Bolton. Chris Jones, next up here. The Ravens' weak point, I think, on the offensive line is in the middle. That is where, of course, Chris Jones lines up. He is going to be a free agent. He wants to cash in. The tackle numbers don't pop. He's getting up there in age. But hey, 13 TFLs, 10.5 sacks is elite production for a defensive tackle. He is he's getting older, one of the best ones on the interior of this defense. Next up is Rashee Rice. Now, I didn't put him on the injury list. He took several shots in this game and was a bit slow to get up. The Chiefs' best use of Rice is on crossers. It's on screens. It's on designed stuff because he's not really fully there as an every down, full route tree receiver. But get him the ball, and good things happen. 4 for 47 against the Bills, as MVS had 2 for 62 on 4 targets. Go figure. But the yak stuff he can thrive on. The Niners, when they played the Ravens, got their big chunk plays. They also made some big-time mistakes. The Ravens will try to do something similar. They're okay if they allow some big plays there. But Rice, he could be the big yak guy against Baltimore. All right, score prediction time. What is your score prediction of the Ravens versus Chiefs games? Remember to mention who you have winning when you comment right now. Lamar Jackson. I remember when Lamar was a running back or a receiver and couldn't make it in the NFL as a quarterback. Probably going to be the NFL MVP. Didn't have his best year. I thought his other MVP year was better, but he had 31 scores against 13 turnovers. The Texans tried to take away the passing game against Baltimore. They played a lot of two-eye shell stuff, man coverage. Lamar ran all over them. When the Dolphins didn't do that, he had 300-plus passing yards. With Todd Monken as the offensive coordinator, the Ravens' passing game has been upgraded. And Lamar Jackson looks like a fully complete, dynamic quarterback. He'll be in for a very tough test against Spags' defense in Kansas City. Pick your quarterback for me. LJ for Lamar Jackson. PM for Mahomes. I mean, these are the 2 best ones, I think, in the AFC right now. Maybe Allen in that conversation, too, of course. Pick one for me, as tough as it is. LJ or PM. Roquan Smith is number 2 on my list. I will give all the praise in the world to Mike McDaniel. Roquan has been a huge piece of this defense. The Ravens got everything they wanted and more, frankly, from that trade. 158 tackles, 5 TFLs, 8 PBUs. The Chiefs like some of those middle-of-the-field plays. They do a lot of misdirection. They need Roquan Smith and number 3 player to watch, Kyle Hamilton, to be on their game. I loved Hamilton coming out. That was one of my favorite prospects in this class. Look at his numbers. This is a stat sheet stuffer in the most positive sense possible. In total, 81 tackles, 3 sacks, 10 TFLs, 13 pass breakups, 4 interceptions. If the Ravens want to need the literal spine of their defense, Roquan, Kyle Hamilton, have to show up. And I would argue one of the more clear-cut breakout players in football this year, Justin Madubuike, the defensive tackle. These are also, we mentioned how good Chris Jones is, right? His numbers are better. 56 tackles, 13 sacks, 12 TFLs. The advanced numbers, like he's a breakout candidate. It's going to happen this year. Again, Chiefs might not have Joe Thuney. That'd be a huge loss because Madubuike is a star right now in the Ravens defense. Finally, it's Zay Flowers. I'm very curious how he gets deployed. L'Jarius Sneed has shut down some wide receiver ones as of late. You know, Stephon Diggs had 3 for 21 on 8 targets against the Chiefs. Flowers is the Ravens' best playmaker if Andrews cannot go, and their best receiver in general. 76 catches, 858 yards, 5 touchdowns. The Ravens can get him the ball. He's so quick, but how can the Chiefs counteract? This is a matchup of, I think, the 2 best teams in the AFC, obviously, and we will be live for it. Hit that sub button so you don't miss out right here on Chat Sports.